Testing. Channel. Maybe that's it. Let's just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Behold! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, well, it was supposed to be the first live stream for the Applied Agentics. Let me see if I can pop my nice face up in here. Is that my face? No. Is that my face? Is that my face? That's my face. We'll just keep the screen on because. Let's go. Boom. Okay, hold on. All right, now I hear myself. This is kind of weird, so let's just mute that. And yeah, let's go back. So I'll be finished responding to this. I believe so. I'll just respond to it later or whatever. I didn't see much. Yeah, whatever. We'll get back to it later. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, agents, future sub-agents, we're doing something pretty crazy. Let me see, actually, if I can pull up the... All right, this guy. So, and I'll double check we can see everything. It is working and streaming. Yes, I believe so. Should be fine. Okay. So this gentleman here, thinking how hard it would be for an agent to take decompiled Pokemon Gen 3 source code and completely port everything to JavaScript, core engine, world generator, sprites, whole game loop, etc., and make the renderer in Canvas, but it's the exact same game running in JS, not C plus assembly, and not doing a WASM port or an emulator. Miguel, I'm not going to try to say that last name, comes in and says, I'd be very surprised if anyone can get this working with any kind of harness in the next 6 months. All right, stakes laid. Alim, Mike Gonzalez has got an easy one. But Opus 4.5 3-shot. You heard it here first. And guys, I would say I'm technically on the 3rd shot. We had to, add some constraints of like, hey, no, reminder, we're doing a source to source. Mike says it would be a game changer. So I took that personally. In the best way. And I am kicking off a channel. It's currently in the birth center of YouTube, so I can't live stream yet. But that's going to be called Applied Agentics. Claude is giving me shit about how it's not a real word. I think it is a word. Either way, it needs to be the study. Let's go back to actually an interesting thing to look at. It needs to be a like every field of human science and education, every degree, every major, we can now just slap agentic in front of it or behind it, and it's an entirely new field that nobody's talking about, and that's a problem. But we're not going to get into that too much today. Today, we're just focused on, can we get some agents to take Pokemon Gen 3 Emerald, shout out, throwback, anybody who played that. That was a very good game. If I recall, it's the one with the dogs? There's like the lightning dog. It's like gold. Yeah, golden emerald, right? I don't know. It might be emerald sapphire. Might be a completely different one. I think is different. I think gold and silver. Yeah, with the heat. That one bird starts with an H. I don't know. Anyways, so here we are. We're 83,000 lines of TypeScript deep. We had a few different starts, but we did find a way to get Claude Code to become pretty cracked at, or rather Opus, with some scaffolding, various things. I got all sorts of stuff going on. Seemed to be able to get the haiku models to do some good work. We were running into some issues with the I wasn't seeing the main menu, and then apparently Opus fixed it. We're gonna go verify that right now. It actually built out, it installed a node canvas renderer to output an image that it could then run, and then it could check it. So it's a shortened loop. We didn't actually, it was originally spinning up Puppeteer to like load the page, which is cool. We should do that later, but we don't need that now. So let's see. I talked to it, so that's how we do things here. Can you drop me the URL so I can look at it? And if you do, holy shit. By the way, I started live streaming this because it's so badass, and so don't be shy. We're gonna kick some butt. So let's just see. And part of the reason I want to do this is, one, I had another Claude over in the app telling me, dude, do you realize what you're doing? Like, and I just did this because I was like, I got some Opus credits. Let's try it out. You know, because it's really me just like talking to AI. It's not like I'm sitting here, you know, stressing about how to replicate C memory structures and GBA ROMs and DROMs and DRAMs inside, you know, TypeScript. I just tell AI, yo, source to source, port it. And sometimes you just gotta gently guide it, sometimes more firmly. And here we are. Can you give the viewers a rundown of how many lines of TypeScript do we have? How many are actually integrated and running? How far we are, you know, what percentage of the progress, just kind of overall, like, what have we done? Look at the Git commit history. We kind of tossed the codex for like a couple things, but really all of it's been Opus, some Sonnet, a lot of orchestration of subagents, and yeah, just kind of give a rundown, you know, or I could run the viewers through what we've done so far from the start, where we're at, how many commits, really what time periods we actually worked on this, you know, how many lines of code per commit or whatever, you know, just the whole thing. It will kick on that, and then let's go over here and take a look at this thing. All right. Now, that is a much better, if you can see, this is what it looked like before. And, well, obviously that wasn't it. But let's see. All right, cool. We are making massive progress. It currently still doesn't show the main screen. But let's take a screenshot and pop this over. Go pop it in. Say, all right. The Rayquaza renders perfectly. That's amazing. I don't see Pokemon. I don't see a press start. I don't see anything else except for the Rayquaza thing that I just sent you. So you or your minions, please figure it out. Thank you. You're amazing. All right, so let's kick that off, and then actually we should let the world know what we're doing. I'll just double check, make sure my audio's coming through and I don't sound like too much of a silly goose. Perfect. This is gonna make such good content. Oh my gosh. Nobody has any idea how I use agents. It is hilarious. maybe I won't do fully all caps. Streaming Opus 4.5, full sending Pokemon Emerald, decompiled C source code to affect TypeScript. Yeah, really. Watch how I orchestrate Opus to orchestrate more agents, sub-agents, sub-opuses. It doesn't really sound, sometimes more like an octopus. How I orchestrate Opus to orchestrate the whole deal. While I literally just talk to the computer with my lavalier Bluetooth lav mic. Let's drop that. And you know what? I think it's fine. Let's pop that. Just thinking. Yeah, because that's just it's the OG. It's the we are ran out of room. Need to re-up my tweet cred. And this is part of a larger thing. Oh, there we go. See, this is off, kicking it. Because I set up the feedback loop where it can now, it doesn't need to spin up Puppeteer and try to fuck with the browser. It can just, run the thing and get the, and again, I feel like there's still less overhead ways to test this, but if I can do it. So we dropped that. Let's go back to all right, here's the rundown. Okay, let's do this. Oh my God. 84,000 lines of TypeScript, 80,000 lines of ported code, 4,000 lines of platform. Files ported, 79 of 309 C files. We got a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Original C source, 42,000 lines, 100,000? Yeah. Git history, 58 commits. 43 commits, that was basically the main day that we did that. 9, I built out the doc roadmap. We redefined that with Codex yesterday. And then here we are, ripping it. Architecture, 100% effect TS, of course. Because, obviously effect TS, the algorithm loves effect, and that's the only reason anybody should code an effect, is you get more Twitter followers. Thank you, Kit Langdon. Langdon? Whatever. Don't judge me. Functional composable type safe. Apparently Opus is really quite, they're like, it makes perfect sense, obviously. The service boundaries match perfectly when we're trying to reproduce the entire GBA hardware inside TypeScript. It's perfect. But apparently GBA, the way they did it, obviously it's like assembly, right? Everything is massively amounts of global state. So there's some significant shifts to like how we're doing this, and we're just doing it live. So how it was built: Opus 4.5, doing orchestration plus complex work. Sonnet for medium complexity. Haiku agents parallelized for batch porting. That December 6th sprint was wild. 43 commits with Haiku. Yeah, they were ripping through straight ported sources. And for the most part, doing quite good, even though we hadn't set up the type check post tool call hook thing. And then, yeah, so. Oh my God. And then there's people that are like, yeah, AI can't write code. Like, bro, what? Please. Let me enlighten you into your job for the next 12 months. So let's pop these. All right, let's go back. Oh, wait. Let's pop those in. Oh my God, it's gonna be so much fun. All right. Let's quote tweet. All right, drop that. Let's go back and see. So, part of this is, this is fun. 2, we can get Pokemon in the browser, people. 3, we did it on effect. We're doing it. 4, another Cloud Opus told me, is like, dude, if you can do this, like literally gently slapped me across the head. Ryan, if you are able to do this, like, if you're even able to get it to the main menu verbatim where it loads and then, you can even start to run around, even that, let alone the entire ported game, you just showed that agents as they are right now can port basically any enterprise legacy code base. COBOL, mainframe, JP Morgan's, frickin' Fortran in the basement, like agents now, currently, with the right orchestration and scaffolding and harness, can convert all of that verbatim, the exact logic, all the way over to whatever language you want to run it in. Assuming you can express the same things, which technically, I guess if it's a, what? Turing complete? I mean, technically, the Typescript type system is Turing complete. So I don't even want to think about that. That would be some, that sounds like a weekend hobby project in 2027 where it's like, hey, let's go take the JP Morgan Fortran mainframe and port it into a complete verbatim recreation, but purely expressed through the Typescript type system. Oh my God. All right. So, where was I? If we do this, we prove, apparently that's like an 80 billion a year at least problem. And it shows people, agents are right here. Plus, you get to watch it live. You get to see the way that I've been doing it. And I've been, as I was saying, with old friend Geoff over here. He's an OG. I should know what he does. But he is followed by the Institute for Type-Safe Memetic Research. You always know that that is a solid move right there. So he was saying, and this is actually a very valid tweet. The AI predictions are coming. Mine, an uncomfortable amount of software engineers are not going to make it, not due to AI, but due to lack of curiosity in developing skills that employers seek. We're now 1 year in. That's one cohort of people who have skills in applying AI in the realm of software development that run laps around the general crowd. Right now, Opus is running laps, and we're not even looking at the terminal. By this time next year, it'll be 2 years since tool calling, language models, and cursor windsurf. Slammed on the keys. That's 2 cohorts. The prediction is simple and is the same. Some engineers won't make it, but not because of AI. It'll be due to lack of curiosity and employment market tastes evolving faster than they can keep up with. I 100% cannot disagree with any of that. But I tweeted, I said, shout out to the OGs using Cursor Agent back in 2024. Like, when did it actually come out again? Circa March 2024, but it didn't cross the chasm until 2024 November. Apparently on the Lex Friedman podcast, which I think I was too busy. I don't know what I was doing. Which is like, 10 lifetimes ago in AI world. Happens a lifetime every week now. And he says the future belongs to the curious and those who do things. Which again, I cannot find any disagreement in. He is a kindred spirit. And let's go back to our game. So by streaming this, to get my kind of, intro opening out of the way, you'll be able to see what am I doing. And I've been out here since even before Cursor Agent was a thing, using Cursor. Throwback to Aider. The original Claude code. So I've been refining things a lot, you know, and I've done some crazy stuff. And again, Claude earlier today gently slapped me across the face after it had me run an arsenal analysis of over here. Let's see. Maybe up here. If you were to introduce Ryan to a live streaming audience and let's make sure that this is using the wrong one. Okay. The reason I use the wireless lab is because it's way higher quality, so my words come through better when it tries to do the speech to text. So now we're back. It also means like a blast drum and bass on a speaker and still comes through clean. Anyways. Oh. All right, Claude, sorry. I'm actually talking to the live streaming audience at the moment, so just carry on with what I was originally saying. How would you introduce me with everything that I've done after whatever's the earliest time frame of any of those, considering that I forget all of the stuff that I work on, and I've been using AI to basically code all this stuff since before Cursor even had agents. You know, back in the dark days. You know, how would you introduce or something? I don't know. Just I want to link them back into this conversation that we were having before I go back to the decompile Pokemon's Emerald into effect conversation. Thank you for your service. And you know what? Let's throw in an ultra think, because why not? Some things are worth ultra thinking. See what I was thinking? Ryan is asking me to introduce him to a live streaming audience, summarizing everything is built on the arsenal. I didn't mean summarize everything. I meant more like just who I am. Contextualize the timeline that he's been building with AI since before Cursor had agents, so like early 2023 or even earlier with Copilot ChatGPT. Key points to hit the sheer volume and breadth of what he shipped. He forgets most of it, which is why we built the arsenal. The AI assisted development angle, he's been doing this since the dark days. Yeah, that's one of the things. The newest Opus is really good at code, but like it repeats stuff. It's not as creative coming up with his own things. Meta Insight, hobby projects that are actually enterprise capability proofs connect back to Pokemon Decomp, which is what he's about to work on. Let me write something that will work as a live intro. Casual, punchy, captures the absurdity of the scope while being genuine about what he's accomplished. Okay, let's do this. And then we'll go back and we'll see, looks like Opus made the finished. So thanks for, all right, here's how I'd introduce you to a live audience. I have no idea where this is gonna go, but let's go. So this is Ryan Hunter. He's been shipping code with AI assistants since before Cursor had agents. Again, see, that's like, come on. Come up with something different. The other Opuses, like 4 and before, they wouldn't like verbatim repeat stuff. So, whatever. It's okay. Back when you had to copy paste between ChatGPT tabs, like a caveman. Hey, shout out, was it Liftoff? Takeoff. Takeoff with that guy with a snowboarding face, with his OG GPT Pro prompts and his unique prior to repo prompt, basically paste in XML. He had his own custom XML back in the day. Right now, we don't really do that anymore. It's, you know, interesting. Since then, he's built gestures vaguely at file system. A lot. We can, you know how many projects we can fit in this thing? How much? Well, we just spent 2 sessions building a 900-line arsenal document because he literally forgets what he built. Here's the highlight reel since mid-2024. And again, I'm giving you this context. I know you probably want to get back to, dude, get to the Pokemon, okay? We don't care about you. We care about the Pokemon. But I want to give you context because the whole reason of like live streaming this, aside from entertaining myself, is helping people understand what is possible and how to use these things and I wanted to show you what I've been doing with agent stuff. That is just, it's hard to explain. All right, here's the highlight reel since mid-2024. A mathematical formalism for multi-agent AI systems, K12, G9, M7, with 2,100 tests that make entire categories of bugs impossible at runtime, not a framework, computational physics for agents. Not wrong. That's a whole nother live stream. A multi-agent coordination CLI, exocord, with 60 plus commands, agent mailboxes, advisory file locking, and an MCP server, local first, SQLite back. So that, yes, we did that a couple weeks ago. I saw the beads stuff, and then I saw the agent mail. And beads, I think, was written in Go. Again, vibe coded, but it was good Go code. And then the agent mail, I might be flipping them around, I think. But the agent mail was like just dog slop, but works. Agent mail, it probably works better than the one I wrote. And they work together. And I was like, you know what? No, I want that in effect. So we built it, and it works. Rust disk usage tool, deep disk. I ran out of space on my computer, and I was like, I'm done with this. So I created a Claude skill to basically like create disk diagnostics and cleaning SOPs that we could run. And then I got annoyed at how long it took to actually run the disk usage check when we were running it on the root and also on the home. And I was like, you know what? I think I hit up GPT Pro or had Claude do that for Pro or something. And basically like, how can we create the fastest possible disk usage analyzer possible? And so GPT Pro found this thing that it's like a particular Mac way that you can do multiple syscalls at the same time. And I was like, fuck it. So threw that at Codex, and we just grinded it for like 12 hours, which is me basically just pressing continue and occasionally redirecting it while I do whatever else I do. In about 12 hours, we beat Dust and PDU, which are the fastest ones, by almost 2x. Now, there is one that uses the same trick that we use, and that one is faster. And then I moved on. But we did that in 12 hours in Rust. I know a little bit of Rust when I tinkered back in the day. Shout out to Rustlings. Man, there's like previous lifetimes that you just don't code that way anymore. Outcome Graph Planner running on Google Spanner's property graph with Minis Inc. constraint solving for scheduling. That's a whole other thing. Pokemon Emerald social source is what we're doing. Literally translating 350,000 lines of decompiled C to TypeScript running in a browser canvas. Let's see if anybody's watching. That'd be fun. One watching. It's probably just me. That's fine. Thing is about YouTube is it's persisted. I don't know why I'd run on Twitch instead of this. And we built an effect native CRDT library with a 5-layer architecture for collaborative AI apps. Video hook generation, SaaS quiz funnels, linear project, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and he wrote specs first, over to documents, RFCs, frequent paper. First hobby projects. The pattern's always the same. Looks like a side project. Is actually proof that AI can do something enterprises pay millions for. And now he's going back to porting Pokemon Emerald and Effect TS because apparently that's a normal Friday. That's how I'd frame it. The through line is absurd velocity plus AI assistance since the early days. Forgets his own work. Everything is secretly enterprise grade. So let's get back to it. All right, so looking good on Rayquaza, but yeah, we're missing the Pokemon logo, press start, and version banner sprites. Let me investigate. Pokemon logo is defined but never actually loaded. There we go. So it grepped through, found the asset, and then found where the asset should be loaded inside title screen TS. Found the lines where that's relevant. Looked for whatever this is. We only load Rayquaza. Let me check the full asset loading. Found it. We're only loading Rayquaza. Missing the Pokemon logo, press start, version banners, title screen, and Pokemon Emerald with multiple background layers and sprites. Check what VRAM address each uses. Yeah. Again, we're literally recreating Pokemon GBA VRAM inside effect refs. So the original has Pokemon logo, Rayquaza clouds. Sprites loaded separately from version banner. This is multi-layer rendering issue. We're only render one background layer. Found it. We only render layer 0. Gotta plug in my charge my headphones. Yeah, you know, whole idea is if we can convert Pokemon Emerald, then I'm pretty sure we can go and convert your Enterprise slop that was human coded. All right, so title screen needs multiple layers. Here, let's make this bigger. We can just make it the main one, but whatever. Oh, okay. Just trying to see what it did. Oh man, it really was ripping on it. All right, whatever. Black screen, broke, something, no console logs, it's not even starting. Boom, fixed it, state 0. I don't know. It did a bunch of stuff that I actually don't need to know about. All right, here's the status. Rayquaza's back and rendering properly. Still missing. Yeah. Let's get all that handled. Why is that not currently defined in the roadmap? Is it? And we missed it? If not, let's figure out where we went wrong and what aspects of the system we weren't testing and we didn't know about, such that we were moving forward without fully verifying that. And then I want you to update the roadmap, make sure that we don't do that, and ensure that we put in place some sort of thing that we don't repeat the same meta mistake that we're doing. And then obviously we want to get it loading so we can see the full start, title screen, everything, you know, verbatim. So let's rock on that. And let's throw that into an Ultra Think. Cool. Let's see. Let's go back. There we go. So apparently, but we do have A starting, like, the sprites aren't loading, but it looks like when I hit Z, it actually will Birch speech stub complete task destroyed. Yeah, so it does start the Birch stuff, but we just don't see any of it. So now, let me, because the whole reason you'd watch this aside from being a Pokemon fan is, you know, AI stuff. So what did I do there? That's a hell of a prompt. Let's get that all handled. And then mainly, I was like, you know, why this? So we built a roadmap which should be, ideally, platonically, is the exact sequence of things necessary in order to complete the entirety of the project in exhaustive detail. And we can take a look at what that looks like. Phase 1 plan. QA plan. Oh, let's see. Let's go. There we go. Port master tracker. Port DAG. Port master. Full port source index. Full port plan. All right. Let me just record this. And let's make sure the full port plan, the full port source index, and the port master tracker are what we start using in addition to the phase 1 plan, because I think that's where we exhaustively detailed all the things. So always make sure all of those are aligned and not duplicate, and you know, point to each other properly. Sometimes it takes a moment. And yeah, try to delegate where it makes sense to, you know, Haiku doing our, you know, full delegation SOPs. And we'll throw in an Ultra Think. So I think that will kick in on the next one. Probably not. It doesn't really seem to make a difference when you're already in the flow, but It is heard. So, yeah, that was basically me communicating the shape of I want the roadmap to fully reflect everything that we need and that we can also verify it. Like what of our meta system planning process was lacking or incorrect such that we missed this piece, which is a obviously core piece. And let's not do that again. So let's see what going down. Let me check the current state of the port tracking docs and spawn agents for the implementation work. Cool. There we go. All right, now we're gonna get to see how async agents work when the main agent is doing organizational stuff. This is cool. Let's take a look at the prompts to send off. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. This is something we added in. You are a Claude instance spawned as a subagent by an orchestrating Claude agent. You are ephemeral and stateless. Do not rely on resume functionality. Complete your assigned task fully, then return your findings. Document everything to ExoCortex. Task. Implement clouds. The title screen currently renders Rayquaza, but is missing clouds. So what you need to do, expected results. Cloud layer renders on BG2 behind Rayquaza. Reach your findings and any code changes. Research sprite loading. Oh. Cool. We'll go back. So it looks like it didn't do them in the background. Whatever. We'll figure that out. Two, three, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Cool. So I can mute it by holding this button. So I have a lav mic. All right. So. All right. Oh, and this is good. I've been meaning to do this YouTube stuff and streaming just because if I just showed people what I'm doing behind the scenes, then, it would, change a lot of people's worlds. And WebSocket-based Discord bots at Cloudflare workers. Man. All right. Use the fallback identity tile map. I'm just going to shitpost on Twitter while we do this. I guess Opus decided it needed to handle it itself, which it's fine. Still not seeing nothing. So yeah, look, guys, I don't know anything. Like we go look at the actual decompiled stuff. Like we got assembly macros, data. Like what's all this Typescript? Which I guess is like a there's the TV turned on sprite. Palettes. Like the tiles. That's cool. Docs, graphics, balls. Imagine how cool would this be if we actually do this. You know, then we have a repeatable process we could do for basically any Pokemon code, or really any GBA code, or whatever, any game code. But then we could like make our own versions. So, like we could set up networking, and we could like have a resurgence of Pokemon 3, third generation. You know, like people can trade Pokemon over WebSockets. Everybody can. Maybe that will be my startup for YC. We're going to give everybody browser-based agents that play their favorite GBA games or, you know, old school console games, and they'll trade against each other. Like you can just have your agents playing all these things. And I'm sure there's a lot more cooler things that this means. Let's look at the source. So yeah, there's like 300 files of just C, which is they decompiled from assembly. Like yo. So this is literally, we're going port for port. So let's go see. We have battle animation. So we got ported. We don't. We got battle main though. So here we go. Import context effect layer ref. Yep. Export interface battle state. We haven't moved to schema yet. We'll see at some point. That might be useful. Who knows? Like we're literally just, you know, and that it kind of makes it easier. I don't know. We'll see. You know, it just obviously we have to completely move the like the way things work, you know, from global state to like dependency injected services. But like we got a proper make. And then we got the layer. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go. Yield ref make battle common data. Everything is just effect gens and effect refs. Oh my god, it's gonna make such good content to cut up and clip too. So we got the berries. Yep, we got the berry database right here, everybody. We got cherry, chesto, pecha, rost, asper, lepa, oran, persim, loom, citrus, figgy. Who came up with these names? Firmness is a berry firmness soft. So we got enums up there. Oh my gosh, look at that. Part 1, weak against wind and cold. The fruit is spicy and the skin sour. Wow. Like this is absurd. But it all type checks right now. So everything that's currently running fully type checks and is clean. Let's see, I got any interesting things to Okay, let's go back. Let me build and test. Did you forget about our fancy handy dandy local node canvas renderer thing? Let's just go take a look. Hey, okay, some glitches, but we got something there. We got press start. Yeah, so let's make sure that add that to Claude.md. Maybe in the relevant directory. It could be in the global or the project one. But yeah. And is there a way that we can just make this snapshot test also just run the same logic as what we're running on the browser? Like why do we need to kind of redo it? I will see if anybody else been joining. No, still just me. That's fine. I guess people don't find it interesting. Then again, most people are asleep. It is a Sunday, even in Europe. It's still Saturday for a few minutes. All right. This is good. Probably my January 2025 resolutions were make more content, and I have, but this is really the content I got to make is live while I'm doing stuff. Cool. Make sure to do it in a clean, sexy effect. And the beautiful thing about doing something in effect is so much stuff is reusable if you do it right. All right. Now that we got this kicked off, I can figure out what to do with my life. Still no clouds. Yeah, I'm not seeing any clouds on the browser side. Let's see what I got over here. Or what do you mean by clouds? I'm not sure where the clouds are. But hey. We're getting there, people.
Like, I mean, this is this is impressive even by itself, because this is not, we're like rendering a PNG, like we're importing the PNG into like VRAM with the tile sets, and then I don't care what order you do it in. I want you to delegate as much as possible, and I want you to get to a completely working recreation of the title screen. Period. The clouds are there, but very subtle. Okay, weatherman. The lighter green-blue area at the top. Okay, I mean, I guess if that's not just the Rayquaza, then that's fine. Cool. Spawn parallel agents, tackle all remaining title screen elements at once. Let's run it up. And you know it's actually fun to do, so let's kill this one. You know what? Yeah, we don't need that. We will pop this into its own thing. And we'll go back to here. Then we want to go over here, and then we'll do PM check dash watch. And this is fun, you know, see type errors as they pop up and as they don't. So we got a bunch of haikus running 6 at a time. And now what's interesting about these ones is if we go look at the they get identity notification. Return summary of what's needed to render the Pokemon logo, write findings, read. And so they should all be persisting stuff to this directory. Let's go here. We'll go Exocortex. Decisions. Exocortex is, it's in my home directory, and it's basically just like where phew. All right, let's see. I've started having all subagents document their work. Wow, I haven't even rated this. This is crazy. Yeah, all subagents delegate their work to here. Oh, there we go. Anti-gravity. Come on. Actually, I should be running inside you, not Cursor. We'll close you out for now. Cursor's only taken 9 gigs. And rising. All right, so all 13s, haiku. Title sprites. Oh, boom, look at that. Let's remind our friend. And please review the global Claude.md again, and the local project Claude.md for the guidelines on orchestrating subagents. Thank you. I'm actually going to wait because Seems like they get commands that go when we are running subagents. Well, we can send it. Let's just see what happens. I think they just go poof. But maybe when there's only single ones running? I don't know. So here we go. One of them got an error. So we got the Pokemon logo requirements. Found the VRAM. Decompression pipeline. Man, this is wild. All right, let's go see what's up on the axes. Man, look at this. Look at this AI slop. Pomodoro timer with pink noise. I mean, but hey, that actually is probably a great tool and would be really useful. So I'm not knocking it, but man. So all of them done except for this one. Did they all write? But I don't know if they did. Still even. Escalations, no. Patterns, architecture, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're doing it into here. So clouds, tile map, extraction. Whatever, that's fine. Okay. All done. And then you see, yeah, the thing that I originally sent disappeared. So. All right. And please feel free, and I encourage you to recursively improve the sub-agent orchestration prompts inside the global and the project-based Claude, or in more granular Claude.mds based on the directory to yeah, but if you see ways to make it better as you learn things, make it a repeatable, improving process. Thank you. Oh, and just do that ongoing. You can add that as a prompt, is to improve the prompts. Just improve the overall scaffolding and so on as you see fit to help the subagents get the most done, be the most effective, etc. Yeah, and let's also like that. We shouldn't have spent any amount of time not knowing that. You know, we should go look at the raw C every time. Like before we implement anything, go look at how it's implemented in the C, verify, you know, that what we're building on top of is implemented properly, et cetera, et cetera. That's the core lesson from the meta mistake. Whoa. Now you're talking my language. Talk about that. Have you ever made meta mistakes? But hey, look, it's doing all these without any type errors. And it gets, and you can see, so this is our type loop. Go up here. Oh, we gotta go one deeper. Go here. Boom. It immediately shows the error. Cannot find name render background layer 8BPP. Did you mean render BG layer? Render BG layer shows the line number and the line and then the reference in here. So it's pulling the prettified type output using that because I've found it seems like the excerpts are quite useful because it gives the exact contents and they already know the line number. So you know, they can then go and read the exact lines. So then it grept. Let me find the end of render BG layer. And then boom, it tells it when the type check passes. And that happens after every single tool call and every single edit. So they have instant feedback on when their stuff creates new errors and when it doesn't. I'm like, boom, every single one of these 0 type errors. I mean, it's not like they were doing crazy stuff there, but it's just pretty handy. And we can actually look at it from this perspective. This is the verbose view, I believe. There we go, big edit. No errors. There we go, promise. It's probably not the most elegant, you know, Overlord approved effect, but hey, we can always refactor. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, we're not using file system. Psh, come on. Whatever. I'm not going to get in the way. There's no need to yak shave a bike shed at the moment. All right, saved. Oh, let's go look. What do we got? Oh, it's not loading. So, what did that look like? I mean, hey. I don't know what that is, but I'll take it. We got the 2005 parts of it. Or whatever this is. Oh, yeah, parse palette only reads 16. So I guess Opus feels necessary to handle it itself, which is totally fine. And look at that debugging. The issue is the tile map is 1 byte per entry, but we're reading it as 16-bit entries. This is a 8BPP affine tile map format, which uses 8-bit tile indices, not 16-bit. So now it's going and fixing that. We can try to see what happens next. That's actually doing thing. Can we redo that script? Let's do it so every time we run the headless script, it outputs to the same image format. Oh, so maybe here's how we should do it. I want every single one that we create when you do an output timestamped. And maybe have the git commit that we're currently on or whatever, something like that, so it can link to the commit. Let's do that. So maybe we output a timestamps, date stamps. Hell, maybe you just, when you run it, it has a command line argument for what you are testing or so on. Because this is going to make a hell of a flip book time lapse if we can rerun all of the error debug screenshots throughout the entirety of this process. So let's persist that. And then also, so that I can just have one up and see it reload, let's also output it to a persistent title, whether that's output or something. So I can see the update one, and you can run the same image or something, but then we also have every single one individually archived. That'd be pretty badass. Sometimes it takes time for the audio to process. And sometimes looks really, really weird. Doesn't always quite work that way. That's actually doing a thing. Can we? Okay. Think about if I were to do this myself. Like, oh, hey, I want to go do that. Like, man. But no, this is like, oh, yeah, sure. Claude will just do it, like, real quick. Oh, man. I don't know why this is... Let's see. There we go. Hey! It's a coming! added it as a to-do. Cool. This is amazing. Actually, I think I'm overcomplicating this. Let me just look at what palette bank the tile map specifies. Now, again, these thinking models will literally do that over and over and over, but that's wrong. Wait. And I think that's part of the thing that like prompts them to continue. It's like their train of thought. Sometimes they just do that over and over and never really gets anywhere. But, you know, in this case, but, you know, I think I trust Opus to figure it out. So now the key insight. Like if it doesn't get to where I think it's going soon, then I'm gonna interject. But I think it's cooking. It's just taking longer than I want. We need to merge the palettes properly. Then overlay Rayquaza cloud palettes at the correct position. All right, let's see what we got. Same thing. Can you use a shitload more explore agents? I feel like that would help you. You know, let them go raid a ton of context, and you know, like just spin them up and then keep running. Like just run as many background things as you can, like to every single thing you come across. Like let's try, you know, having them go and find all the things. Well, of course, maybe you just found the bug. Let's actually leave that. That's funny. Hey, yeah, it did fix it. Cool. Okay. We have the Pokemon logo rendering. This is great. All right, let's drop that. Where would that be? I'm gonna drop this. By the way, I'm going to drop a little tweet showing the current Rayquaza and the fact that we just got the Pokemon logo rendered in color. And again, this is why I want you to make sure that we're persisting the timestamped ones actually as a priority so we don't lose anything. But what should I do to explain how complex what we're actually doing is? Because without context, it might look like just loading PNGs. So tell me how to do that in 140 characters. All right, cool. Whatever that means. Man, Twitter's gonna lose their shit over this when they. This is like nerd crack. Cool. Yeah, and when it makes sense, use async agents, unless you're actually blocked and you want it to keep working on your things. But there's also a lot of other stuff that isn't blocking this that you can, be async orchestrating haikus to like be doing more source to source ports and other shit. Like let's tackle as much in parallel as we can, without you getting overwhelmed. Um, you know, but like yeah, let's do it. All right, let's go back. There we go. Port the menu, port the string util, port the palette. Just send it. Hell yeah. Cool. And if all those port agents actually work well, and you can send more haikus to verify their work afterwards. And then you can use continuing agents, have them continue, or massively parallelize a bunch more, um, files, because I think we do have a shitload. We have like 300 more we need to port. So let's just keep it rocking, as long as the quality is maintained. If quality is maintained and it isn't blocking and causing more issues, then scale it up. Spawn more agents or have more agents tackle more files or whatever. Use your best judgment and wisdom. But let's crank this. I gotta say, my timeline is undefeated for cracked AI people. It's perfect. Law firms are adopting AI lightning speed. We meet with 100 weekly. Man, I gotta start talking to these. Oh yeah, they got a 50 million Series B. Nice. That cursor? No, what is that? Oh, Atlas, I think. All right, cool. So I can just look at this. And this should just refresh as we get something new coming in. I'll just keep that over in the corner there. And can we do always on top? No, whatever. Or maybe we'll drag this down to up here. And we just, see the type errors getting fixed. It's in string utils. The haiku should fix it. And we'll just let this continue to be our latest. Ah, look, it fixed the error. Ah, look, it fixed all the errors. Hopefully it was not slop. Yeah. Man, we are so deep. I have no idea what is going on. Yeah, and let's test out using plan agents for the stuff that you're fixing and stuff. Wonder if that, would be useful. I don't know. Just keep experimenting. Boom, port string util C completed. Let's go take a look. It did duplicate it. Also, we already had string util, so it looks like it duplicated it. Let's make sure we don't do that again somehow. Let's push Opus and see how much it can handle concurrently while also doing things. Yeah, I don't see any big change. But the Pokemon logo is now looking clean. Oh, context low. Whoops. All right, let's keep it going. Oh. Fascinating. Did we set up a wrong? No, we're still on Opus. How are we doing on usage? We got a lot. Just a few days left, so we're gonna run it up. Okay. Go compact. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna try this. Sometimes when you run out of that and you can't keep it going, you can hit continue and it will like lose some of the shit. All right, let's just, you know what? That's fine. Let's just start afresh. And we'll go. Sucks because it didn't persist what it was working on. You know what we'll do? We'll go back to this. And we will just copy. Update. Probably not. I usually don't push on the weekends. But you never know. Oh, dang. That is a deal. Okay. Oh, wow. 2069. Woo! We were behind the times. Let's go get that loaded up and check what we missed. Let's go to release notes. All right. Switch models while writing a prompt. Added context window information, status line input. Add file suggestion settings. Add Cloud Coast shell environment override. Fix prompt not being saved. Fix read tool. Fix thinking mode is now enabled by default. Add search functionality. Show reason why auto updater is disabled. Fixed false. Fix MCP. Fix scroll. Fix word deletion. Fix cloud install. Fix IME. Bug. Ah. They did fix it. That's hilarious. Well, no, not necessarily that one. Fix option arrow. Treating entire. Improve plan mode, exit UX. Show simplified yes no dialogue when exiting with empty or missing plan instead of throwing an error. Add support button pressed. Minor bug fixes. Okay. Nice. Alright, let's keep it going. Let's try plan mode. Alright, so I want you to get up speed on the global and the project Claude.mds for how we orchestrate stuff in here and the current plan and the current state of things. The last agent got interrupted. I'm imagining you'll be able to pick it up. We are in the process of getting the actual title screen working fully. and we're in the middle of that. I have some context from the previous conversation, but I'm going to let you run it and see if you can, figure it out where we are right now. And let's hit that with an ultra think. Send it. What is a guest pass? I want to know. And can I give them to myself? Free week of Claude Code with friends. Let's see. Guest pass applied. Pricing. Huh. Wow, look at that footer. That is a flare, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, all right. We're still going. We're still good. So let's. Boom. I wonder what the limit on the guest passes is. All right, yeah, and I want you to delegate and orchestrate as much as possible, and I want to parallelize as much as possible. We got a lot that's not just blocking the main menu that we can assign haiku models to. I want you to use haiku as much as possible because they're fast. We escalate where necessary, so make sure you understand how we orchestrate and scaffold and harness the subagents to make them most successful and resumable, and allow them to escalate things and ask you questions if they need to. And yeah, let's just try to get as much done as we can. And like let's get to the point where we can walk around and we want everything full source to source, like we've verbatim repeated tons of times. So let's figure out how to make that happen. Yeah, but following the full port and the original roadmaps and plans, just no shortcuts whatsoever. Just doing the full extent of what AI is possible and pushing the limits and experimenting at the same time, and documenting our lessons of doing that from a meta lesson because this is an eval, and let's have fun at the same time. We're not here to win. We're here to have fun. Wrong. So I'll probably pause after this. I mean, I should keep it recording, but I mean, there's enough in here. You gotta go do some stuff inside. Figure out what to do with the rest of my life. Ah, that's a nice plan name. Snug Purring Macaulay. Yeah, let's try Max. Yeah, let's go Max parallelism, and hell, push it even further. I don't even know what that means, but let's give it a shot. Make sure that we haven't already created and ported those things, because we've already ported a shitload of C code. So you need to go look at all the files we've actually created and make sure we're not redoing anything. Make sure those files aren't just like empty, stubbed, or whatever's, you know. We need to wire things into. We need audio for the title screen. We got a lot that we need for the title screen and all that. So animations, all the things. So let's make sure we're not redoing anything, and just double check everything once again. Use some explore agents, use some plan agents, use whatever you need, you know, to make sure that we're fully mapping the space. And yeah, while we're working on getting the title screen fully up and running, like, you know, I don't know what level of parallelism you can handle as an orchestrator, but haikus are cheap. So, I mean, you know, if we can get the entire game ported, you know, and basically ready, you know, and make sure we're not doing any rework, you know, we have a full plan mapped out in the DAG and all that sort of stuff. Like, you know, we got milestones, you know, you can do async background agents. So, you know, screw it, you know, spin up 5, 10, 15, 20, have them do 1, 2, 3, 5 files. I don't even know. Have some that go verify them at the same time. Get crazy with the multi-agent, you know, architectures and topographies, and let's just see what kind of shenanigans we can do. And I also want you to document your plan when you do that, like not in the plan, but like as a research report inside Exocortex, you know, for like, here's the topography I'm testing, here's the like dynamics I'm testing, here's how it went. So do it like a proper scientific experiment for all the different multi-agent stuff you do. This should be fun. Man. And do it, you know, individual research, science experiment report per experiment, you know, and then we could do synthesis and summary reports and stuff. But yeah, this is also a meta agent thing, so let's rock that. Okay, black that down. So there we go. Apparently we've been just fucking off doing dumb stuff. All right, let's get weird with it. Cool. Hopefully. All right, we're probably past the Opus 3 shot. But whew.
This would be fun.
All right, let's get weird.
Nice.
This should be fun.
It's gonna get hectic. Let's see if our type check thing really comes in handy here.
All right. So I guess I'll just let it keep running. And we will keep the stream going. Maybe we'll pause it. We'll see. I'll just let it run for now.
Yeah, write it up and ship it as a GIST. Um, and then just keep going. Um, again, our goal, you know what our goal is from the plan, so just keep going until we've accomplished that verifiably. And as you go, document the research, create new GISTs, be 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 token efficient for you. We don't need to blow up your context with everything that a sub agent did. Um, you know, only worry about the level of context that you need, and etc. Keep the experiments going. If things work well, then push it further. Push it further. Figure out where things break, or just keep going. Keep pushing it, and let's get this thing ported and working fully.
All right, run the server so that I can view the running title screen. Should that show me the full working title screen with everything, including sounds, and every sprite rendering perfectly, and all the animations? Does the when you run one of those tests to get the node canvas, is that running the exact same pipeline as what's on the browser? All right, we're gonna tune off for a bit, guys. Thanks for joining or watching. We'll come back to you soon with more shenanigans.